Okay, so you send us this fantastic stack of material articles, comments, even some threads, dug up from Reddit.
Yeah, all grappling with cricket.
Right. You know the scene. Players in white, that distinctive rhythm and terms that, well, frankly sound like jargon, silly mid-off, sticky wicket. How's that?
Definitely inside jokes to the uninitiated. And yet, over a billion people follow it, almost religiously in some places.
Which is incredible. But for many, especially if you're more used to, say, baseball, figuring out what's really going on can feel like, I don't know, decoding something.
It's true. Looking through everything, that core question kept popping up. How does this game actually work? Especially when the pace and structure feel so different.
Like trying to connect the dots, you mentioned that. Seeing fielders scattered around.
Exactly. Or understanding the flow, the ups and downs. It's not always obvious.
And that's really our mission in this deep dive, isn't it? We're going to unpack what you shared, pull out the key ideas, the strategies, the cultural bits,
Uh-huh.
the things that help make sense of it all. Yeah, the aha moments. Think of this as your guide through the material, helping you sort of zero in on what matters to get a handle on the game.
Sounds good. And that comparison you brought up, baseball, is a great place to start.
It seems like a natural comparison.
It is. Both bat and ball games, team score runs, fielders get players out, hit the ball, run between safe zones.
Laces in baseball, wickets in cricket.
Exactly. You can score by running or hitting it out of the park effectively. And outs happen through catches, missing the target, the wicket or strike zone, or getting thrown out running.
But like you said, the differences are where the real intrigue and maybe the confusion lies. It's about how those differences change the game.
Precisely.
Right.
It's not just that they're different, but the consequences. Take the field layout.
Okay.
In baseball, you run around the bases, away from the main action zone. In cricket, the running happens right there on the pitch, that central strip,
Where the bowler is delivering the ball.
right where the ball is bowled and hit. So fielders aren't just covering acres of outfield. They're positioned around that central battle. Very different tactical puzzle.
And the boundary is different too, right? Not just a fence.
No, not at all. In cricket, there's usually a rope marking the boundary. If a hit ball crosses it along the ground, that's an automatic 4 runs.
Even if a fielder could have stopped it further out.
Doesn't matter. Once it hits or crosses a rope, it's 4. And if you hit it over the rope on the full without bouncing,
That's 6 runs.
that's 6. This puts a massive premium on hitting gaps in the field along the ground, but also on the power to clear the boundary. It dictates fielding positions hugely.
Which brings us to the fielders themselves. Something that jumped out from the comments was, well, the lack of gloves.
It's striking, isn't it? Apart from the wicketkeeper, who's like the catcher, heavily padded, most fielders are barehanded. Maybe some minimal padding for those standing really close, like at silly point.
That seems painful.
It requires incredible skill, bravery, and technique, catching a hard leather ball coming at speed. Yeah. But it changes the fielding incentives.
How so?
While catching the ball directly dismisses the batter instantly, that's huge. Getting someone run out, hitting the wickets with the ball while they're running is often harder, requiring an accurate throw to a small target.
Ah, so there's maybe more incentive to dive and try for the catch.
Exactly. And to stop those ground balls heading for 4 runs. Every run saved, every catch taken is critical. Handedness also plays out differently.
How do you mean?
In baseball, the diamond layout really favors right-handers for certain infield positions, especially throwing across the diamond. Cricket's fielding is more in the round, so while a strong arm is always good, handedness isn't quite as position-defining for general fielding.
Interesting. Okay, what about the pace? Baseball games play until someone wins. Cricket doesn't always.
That's a massive difference, especially in the longer formats. Test cricket can last 5 days and still end in a draw if one side hasn't bowled the other out twice within the time. There's no baseball equivalent to that, or things like the follow-on, or a captain declaring an innings closed early.
Declaring.
Yeah.
Just deciding you've scored enough.
Yeah, maybe to give your bowlers enough time to get the other team out before the match time expires. It's a tactical gamble.
And the bowling structure is different, too. Not one pitcher going through the lineup.
Right, it's the over system. One bowler bowls 6 legal deliveries from one end, then play switches ends, and a different bowler bowls the next over from the other end.
So batters face different bowlers frequently.
Constantly. Captains rotate bowlers based on strategy, match situation, bowler fatigue, exploiting a batter's weakness. It's a continuous tactical adjustment.
And the batting opportunities you mentioned, a batter gets 1 innings per team innings.
That's right. Once you're out for that turn your team has at batting. unlike baseball where you might bat multiple times in one game inning.
That puts immense pressure on each batter, surely.
Huge pressure. Every wicket lost is a major event because that player doesn't get another chance in that innings.
So the two batters out there, the striker facing the bowler and the non-striker at the other end, they have these conflicting goals, don't they? Score runs, but don't get out.
Exactly. That's the fundamental tension of batting. Score quickly. You need to take risks, play attacking shots, maybe hit the ball in the air.
Which increases the chance of being caught.
Precisely. Play it safe. Block the ball, leave deliveries alone, focus on defense. But you might not score any runs, and the pressure builds.
So strategy is this constant calculation, aggression versus caution.
Absolutely. Factoring in the bowler, the field placings, the state of the pitch, the match situation, how many runs needed, how many wickets left.
And visually, one of the coolest things is that batters can hit the ball literally anywhere, 360 degrees.
That freedom is key. It leads to this incredible variety of shots. You have the classic drive, straight bat, hitting along the ground in front.
Like a cover drive.
Yeah, cover drive, off drive, slightly straighter, straight drive, on drive, towards the leg side. All about timing and placement.
Then there are the cross-batted shots, the more attacking ones.
Right, like the cut, played to balls wide outside the off stump, often using the bowler's pace, trying to hit it square or behind square on the offside. You really try to roll your wrists over the ball to keep it down.
Because hitting it in the air is risky.
Very risky. Then the pull and the hook horizontal bat swings to hit shorter balls towards the leg side. The pull is usually for waist-high balls, the hook for shoulder-high or above.
We also saw mentions of more, well, creative shots.
Oh, yeah. Innovation is constant. The sweep often played kneeling down, especially to spinners, to hit a full-length ball behind square on the leg side.
And the reverse sweep.
That's a big one. High risk, high reward. You essentially switch your hands and body to hit the ball to the offside, as if you were batting opposite-handed. It completely messes with the field setting.
Didn't that go wrong for someone famous?
Famously, Mike Gatting in the 1987 World Cup final tried it at a crucial time, got out, and it arguably cost England the match. Shows the stakes.
Wow. Any others?
Well, there's the helicopter shot, made famous by MS Dhoni, this really risky flick, often to full balls or yorkers near the stumps, generating incredible power to hit boundaries. Sort of defies conventional technique.
A yorker being a ball aimed right at the batter's feet.
Exactly. Very hard to score off traditionally. And sometimes you get lucky with a French cut, an inside edge that deflects the ball down towards fine leg. Not usually intended.
More luck than skill on that one.
Often, yeah. Oh, and the uppercut, deliberately guiding a fast, short ball over the wicketkeeper and slips for 4. Needs quick thinking.
So batting strategy isn't just about having the shots, it's reading everything.
Everything. The bowler's plan, where the fielders are positioned, those dots are telling you something. The condition of the pitch. Is it a feather bed, flat and easy for batting? Or is it doing tricky things?
And then matching that to the game situation.
Right. How many wickets have we lost? What's the target score? How many overs left? Do we need to attack or defend? It's complex. And the batting order reflects that strategy.
You don't just send players out in any order.
Definitely not. Your openers, batting number 1 and 2, usually face the brand new ball, which swings more. They often aim to take advantage of early fielding restrictions, the power play, to score quickly.
Then the middle order.
Numbers 3, 4, 5, maybe 6. They often consolidate, build partnerships, rotate the strike with singles and twos, maybe accelerate later.
In the tail?
The lower order, yeah, usually numbers 8, 9, 10, 11. These are often primarily bowlers who aren't specialist batters. Sometimes you'll see a tactic where a skilled batter tries to protect a weaker partner.
Farming the strike.
Exactly, or shepherding the strike. They'll try to face most of the balls in the over, maybe taking a single only on the last ball to keep the strike for the next over, even turning down runs sometimes.
Fascinating tactical layer. Okay, this links to another point that came up a lot. Different formats. It's not just one type of cricket game.
No, and that's a common source of confusion. The material highlighted the 3 main international formats, each with its own feel and strategy.
Let's break them down first.
Test cricket, the traditional format, played over potentially 5 days. 6 or more hours of play each day.
5 days, and it can end in a draw.
Yes. If one team can't bowl the other out twice within the 5 days, it's a draw. This possibility completely changes the strategic thinking. Survival can be as important as winning.
Hugely different from sports that demand winner every time.
Totally. Then you have one-day international cricket, or ODIs.
The 50-over games.
That's right. Each team bats for a maximum of 50 overs. It typically takes about 7 or 8 hours. The strategy involves pacing in innings, maybe steady at the start, consolidating in the middle, then attacking hard at the end. The main ODI World Cup happens every 4 years.
And the fastest one, the one people often suggest for new fans.
That's 2020, or T20, just 20 overs per side. The whole match is usually done in about 3 hours.
Much shorter.
Much. And it's designed for action. Constant attacking batting, lots of boundaries, dynamic fielding, tactical bowling changes. It's explosive. There's a separate T20 World Cup, too, usually every couple of years.
So multiple World Cups for different formats.
Correct. And then you layer on the domestic T20 leagues.
Like the IPL.
Exactly. The Indian Premier League is the biggest, but there's Australia's Big Bash League, BBL, the Pakistan Super League, PSL, England's T20 Blast, the Caribbean Premier League, CPL, even Major League Cricket, MLC, starting up in the U.S.
Are these connected, like minor leagues to majors?
Not really. Think of them more like top European football leagues, the Premier League, La Liga, Serie A. They're distinct competitions with their own teams, franchises, attracting top players from all over the world for a specific season.
So players play for their country and these club teams.
Yep. Playing in, say, the IPO gives them great T20 experience and exposure, maybe earns them a lot of money, but the stats count for the IPL, not their international record for India or Australia or England.
It's quite a complex ecosystem then. International tours, World Cups, and these powerful domestic leagues all coexisting.
It really is. They compete for player time and audience attention, but they all contribute to the global landscape of the sport.
Beyond the X's and O's, the rules and formats, something else that really came through was the cultural weight of cricket and this idea of the spirit of cricket.
Oh, absolutely. You can't separate cricket from its cultural context.
Yeah.
Like baseball in America, cricket is deeply woven into the national identity in England, Australia, the West Indies, South Africa, New Zealand, and especially across the Indian subcontinent. India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh.
Followed like a religion, we mentioned earlier.
It really can feel that way. And it spills into language, right? Having a good innings, being bowled over, hitting someone for six, being on a sticky wicket, meaning a tough situation.
Or saying something is just not cricket, meaning it's unfair.
Exactly. That phrase points directly to this historical ideal of sportsmanship, the spirit of cricket.
What did that traditionally involve?
There was a strong emphasis on playing fair, respecting opponents and umpires. Accepting the umpire's decision without arguing, fielders admitting if they hadn't caught a ball cleanly.
And batters walking.
Yeah, some batters would walk off if they knew they'd hit the ball and it was caught, even if the umpire didn't give them out. It was about upholding the game's integrity above the immediate result.
Does that still happen? How does it fit with the professional game now?
Well, the modern game is incredibly high stakes. Professionalism, money, media scrutiny. It's intense. So you see less walking, perhaps?
And more appealing, asking the umpire for a decision.
Definitely more appealing,
Yeah.
sometimes quite theatrically. And sledging, verbal sparring or intimidation between players became more common, though there are lines that shouldn't be crossed.
So the spirit of cricket had to be formalized.
In a way, it's now written as a preamble to the official laws of cricket. It emphasizes playing hard but fair, respecting opponents, umpires, and the game's traditional values. It's an acknowledgement that while competitiveness drives the sport, how you play still matters.
And the material we looked at even touched on some recent controversies around this, didn't it? Differing views on sportsmanship after a tournament.
Yes, it did. It highlighted how passionate people are and how national pride and differing cultural perspectives can lead to really strong feelings about what's acceptable on the field, especially in tense moments. It shows that the spirit of cricket isn't always universally interpreted the same way today.
It adds another layer of complexity.
For sure.
Okay, so wrapping this up, we've taken a deep dive through the material you sent. We've looked at cricket's core mechanics, those key differences from baseball that shape strategy.
The unique field, the boundary rules, the barehanded fielding.
Exactly. We explored the batting side, the huge range of shots, that constant tension between scoring and survival, the strategy behind batting orders and managing the strike.
From the cover drive to the helicopter shot.
We navigated the different formats, Test, ODI, T20, and the landscape of domestic leagues like the IPL.
Understanding why they each feel so different to watch and play.
And finally, we touched on that rich cultural backdrop, the historical spirit of cricket, and how that interacts with the modern, high-pressure professional game.
Hopefully pulling all that together gives you a much clearer picture next time you're watching a match. You can start to see the why behind the field placings, the shot selection, the bowling changes.
Connect those dots a bit better.
Exactly.
Right, so here's something to think about, building on that point about formats, specifically Test cricket. The fact that a match lasting 5 whole days can end without a winner, simply because time ran out a draw, that's pretty unique in major global sports.
It really is.
So how does that constant possibility of a draw hanging over a 5-day contest fundamentally change the psychology? How does it shift the decision-making for captains and players compared to sports where someone has to win? How do you weigh risk versus reward when pure survival is also a valid outcome?
Hmm. That's a fascinating question about patience, risk appetite, and what constitutes success.
Something I'm all over. It
Yeah,
feels very
cricket.